YouTube, what's your good? It's your boy, your best that ever did it. Back again with some more college hoops, and we're gonna cook it up, man. If you new here, we do this. We starting this new thing where we doing $20 giveaway. If I go 3-0 with my top three picks, and you comment your top three picks as well, if we go a 6-0 combined sweep, I will cash app you $20. To qualify, you must be a subscriber, have commented three picks for the day, and you must like the video. Without further ado, comment your three picks right now to qualify, and let's get right into it for February 13th, Valentine's Day Eve. We're going to start it off with Marquette at Butler. And Marquette's coming in this one. They've been looking like a different team since they've played Butler last time. You know what I mean? When they played the same Butler team, they were winning at halftime at home, and then Butler just came out and absolutely handled them after the second half. Beat a Creighton team at home pretty comfortably, 5-point win. Only lost to Seton Hall by 3. Since then, they've been on a tear. Georgetown couldn't hang. St. John's couldn't hang twice. Villanova and Seton Hall, they did get their revenge with Seton Hall. I think they get their revenge here at Butler, like what Butler did to them. Butler's coming to this one looking pretty solid as well, but they took two clunkers right after playing this Marquette team. Beat up on the two worst teams in the conference. Took Villanova to overtime, who's having a down year. And they beat Creighton by 1 point. Creighton should have won that. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't see anything special from Butler. They do got some good wins in their mix, but that's about it, man. I don't think Butler's ready to keep form. Marquette's much better form. Also, Marquette is coming to this one on Evan Maya as the 8th ranked team. Top 20 offense and defense. Top 10 roster. They got 21 kill shots through the season, only giving up 9. And kill shots, for those who don't know, is double-digit scoring runs in the season without the other team scoring. And they're 18-5 in the D1 basketball. We could find these boys on this one. Where's Mr. Marquette at? Marquette's top 10 on KenPom. The real KenPom. Top 10 team, 10th in the nation. Adjusted offense is 21st. Adjusted defense is 15th in the world. Pretty solid, man. This is a tough team. And if we go look for Butler, right here, top 49. Butler's only top 49, top 50. Still a very good rank, but you know what I'm saying? This is a top 10 team we're talking about in Marquette, who's damn near in the race to win the whole thing all. Like, if it's 48 teams ahead of you, it's a rough passage to go win the national. Marquette is in the top 10. They're in the conversation of is this the year for them? Give me Marquette to get the revenge and do it in stylish fashion. I think they win by double digits. Give me Marquette all later 5. Butler's only beating them in free throw percentage and the rebounding. They average 3 more rebounds per game, 33 to 30. You know what I mean? But I have to go with the under in this game. I like the under. This is a top 10 defense, top 10 team. They're not going to play enter Butler's favor on the road. Butler's going to slow down this possession of tempo because this is a top 10 team, which they have to limit possessions. Give me the under and Marquette to cover the spread. Next up, we got UNC at Syracuse, and this is short, sweet, and simple. Give me my boys in North Carolina. UNC will win the game by 10 or more. Syracuse is terrible. Only got Judah Mintz. JJ Starling is cool, but he's not it. That boy is not it. I ain't gonna even hold you guys. JJ Starling is overrated. Judah Mintz is the only one on that team worth something. Once they lost Boheim and all of them dudes from last year, Syracuse was already set to have a down year. Yes, they play their best basketball at home where they are at today, but UNC is 6-1 on the road, and they almost beat this team by 40 last time they played. It was damn near a 40-point thrallop, 103 to 67. 103 to 67. Beat them boys by 36. I think it's easy money if you win by 10 again. Give me UNC and take RJ Davis over 3.5 rebounds. I also like Harrison Ingram over on his rebounds as well. He's coming off a good 2 or 3 game stretch where he missed the number for his rebounds, so it's a great buy low spot for Harrison Ingram. I think he gets about 20, maybe even 14 to 15 rebounds this game. He had 10 earlier in the previous matchup. This year he had 10. He went over the 8.5 number. Take Harrison Ingram over 8.5 rebounds, RJ Davis over 3.5 rebounds, and RJ Davis over 22 points. Armando Bacot's kind of in that conversation, but I don't know, man. Next up, we got Pitt at UVA, and let's show the world what we about. 13-0 at the crib is UVA. Perfect 13-0. UVA's defense is really like that. At home, they shut these boys down to 38 points the full game. I think every game in their last 4 or 5 home games, this one, Notre Dame, North Carolina State, and they went to overtime, all under the total, even with Virginia Tech. That defense is really serious. The last over they had at home was against Louisville. Give me the under, and this one is the strongest play. Pittsburgh is pretty dormant, just like on their football team, who started off really good, and then they just looked like a Sour Patch Kid. These boys is not going to wake up. You know what I mean? Like 3 of the last 5 games went under the total. Only went over the total by 3 points with Notre Dame. Couldn't hang with Syracuse, who's terrible. I just think it's a lot of luck when going on with this team. That Wake Forest win was kind of lucky. Give me UVA to lay the 7, and I like the under. It's going down as we speak. Give me the under, and I like UVA. Next up, we got Iowa State at Cincinnati, and I don't know who they think Cincinnati is. Cincinnati is the new boys in the league. This is the first year in the Big 12, I believe so, if I'm not mistaken. Cincinnati's not made for this league, you guys. Cincinnati's not made for it. Give me my boys, Iowa State, to get the outright victory. I don't know why they got Cincinnati's the favorite. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? This team has a win over Houston, TCU, Kansas State, TCU, Texas. Only lost to Baylor by 2 and only lost to Oklahoma by 8. Cincinnati's, like, let's see what they've done to be the favorite. Kept it a close game with Houston. Okay, cool. You kept it close. Look at all of these unders. Pretty much every game is going under. You hang in there with TCU. Hooray. You beat Texas Tech out on the road by 3. 1-point loss to Texas. Okay, cool. You beat BYU, TCU, and UCF in Texas Tech. You lost to Western Virginia. Like, what are we seeing here for Cincinnati to be the favorite? Short, sweet, and simple. Give me Iowa State on the money line. I might buy this up. I might buy this up to like 6 or 7 points for Iowa State to cover. And I like the under in this one. I don't know why it's such a high total. This is not going to get out of the 60s. Give me the under in Iowa State to win by 7. St. John's coming in this one 13-10, 2-5 on the road against a Providence team who is 12-2 at home. Providence is the slight home favorite. St. John's did beat these boys by 1 point earlier. Or 2 points, I'm sorry. Then they got beat by Xavier by 20. Beat up on Georgetown and DePaul. Beat Seton Hall. At home, you just came off of a Creighton win. At home in overtime. St. John's, what have you been doing? 2 wins in the last 5 games. DePaul and Villanova. When you're going on the road against tougher opponents, you almost beat Creighton. Couldn't hang in there with Seton Hall. Only beat Villanova twice. Beat a Butler team at home. I got to go with Providence in this one. There's no real true edge for St. John's in this one. It's no true edge. Providence should get this one at the home crowd advantage. Get things going at home. I like the coach. I like how they've been coached this year in Providence. You guys know who Providence head coach is. That boy is really real. Yeah, that boy Kim English. Because we know Ed Cooley had departed. I believe Ed Cooley went to Iona. Rick Pitino, who used to coach Iona. Rick Pitino is now at this St. John's school. You know what I'm saying? So this is Rick Pitino's coming in against Providence. Ed Cooley's over there with Georgetown. You know what I mean? Not fucking Iona. He's over there with Georgetown. He did leave Providence. Give me my boys Providence at home. Nice coach, Kim English, and them boys is ready to go battle. Give me the Providence Friars. St. John's is not really special. You know what I mean? Like Jordan Dingle and them boys are good. But I think it's Yoel Soriano. He has to step up. He's not enough. You know what I'm saying? He's not much of a playmaker. He's more of an ISO. He doesn't make the team better. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't make the team better. That's what St. John's problem is. They're going through the wrong person. They're playing their offense through the wrong person. Until then, give me Providence. Next up, Texas A&M at Vanderbilt. Give me Vandy to lose the game by double digits. I got Texas A&M later number. Vanderbilt is not that good. If we look at Vandy's top 180. They're damn near in the 200s in regular KenPom. If we go look on KenPom, look at Vanderbilt, they're 207. 207 is Vanderbilt. Defense is top 200, 226 in offense. Vanderbilt, and coming to this one with Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a top 32 team in the country. They're averaging 15 points. They're projected to outscore the average Division I team by 15 points per game. Top 28, top 30 defense, top 40 offense. The home rank is huge for these boys. They're in the 300s. Top 30 roster. They put up 15 kill shots and only given up 4, which is great numbers. going on big runs where they're scoring 10 or more points in a row without allowing the team to score. They've done that 15 times, only let it happen to them 4 times. And they're 15-8 in Division 1. Vandy is 6-17 in Division 1. Only been able to get 4 kill shots on the other teams, and they've given up 12. So it fits right into the team's ranks. Give me Texas A&M to win the game by 20. I think they win by 20. And I like the over in this one. I like the over. If you guys see Vanderbilt's last matchups when they're on the road, when they're at home, the last 2 games have been over. Most of the games have been going under the total because they've not been able to score as a lot of points, against tough defense, which is understandable. They're not going to be able to score a lot, because they're worst team in the damn nation in this league for sure. In this conference, they are the worst team, but they're damn near competing with some of the worst teams in the nation. And give me Texas A&M. Look at these boys. Majority of their games been going under. Last 2 games went over. Give me my boys and these boys. I think they hold these boys down, even if it's an under. I think I like the over in this game. It's going to be at least in the 140s, 85 to 70. I think they win by 15 to 20 points, and they get over the total. Texas A&M might allow like 62, 63, and they're going to get in the 80s. It's Texas A&M. Give me Texas A&M to get over the total and win the game by more than 10 points. Next up, we got LaSalle and Davidson. And Davidson is probably the favorite, but not by 8 points. LaSalle is not that bad. You know what I mean? Like, yes, they're bad. Yes, they're 1-4 in their last 5. And that was pretty while back, you know what I'm saying, when their last win was, which was January 27th. Give me my boys, LaSalle. They've been terrible against the spread in conference play, only covered in 3 games. Davidson in conference play has not been much better, only covered in 3 games as well. Terrible matchup, terrible teams. Both of these teams are terrible. Super miserable game right here. I like the under. I think we get under the total. Give me under. It's a miserable game. Give me the under. Davidson is 130. You know what I'm saying? 140 in the world. They're 11-10 in Division 1 games. And their home rank is in the 300, so they have a pretty substantial home environment advantage. And let's look at LaSalle. 233 in the world. Defense is a big problem for these boys. Top 210 offense. And they're 10-13 in Division 1. It's not really much of an edge on either side. Both teams are bad. Both teams are miserable. Give me my boys LaSalle to cover the spread and the under. Next up, we got Indiana State Sycamores at Illinois State. And you already know where we're going here. Give me Indiana State 11-0 at the home. And they just been way better than all of these teams in this conference. Only loss was to Drake, but they got their revenge at home. You know what I'm saying? Where they are their strongest. They beat Drake, a 20-5 team. They beat these boys by an 8-point advantage. You know what I mean? So this is a real huge win right there. Beat Missouri State by 22. Beat Belmont by 30. A 30-piece. Beat UIC by 6. Illinois State just played UIC. They lost by 5. Played SIU, lost by 3. Played Bradley at home, lost by 7. No, 13. Whew. And they out there losing to Evansville on the road. You can't be allowing that. They played Drake, a upper echelon team in the conference, on your home turf too, and you ended up losing the game by 21. Give me Indiana State later, the 17. They lost to Valpo as well. Illinois State, they lost to Valparaiso. That's all I got to tell y'all. Give me Indiana State later spread. Illinois at Michigan. Michigan at Illinois. Fuck. You know, when I see my boys, they're fighting Illini. Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me the fuck up. Illinois is out here, and they're back. They coming in this one losers of the last game. But look what they did before that. At home, 8-point win. Overtime win against Nebraska, 3-point win. And they beat Indiana by 8. Beat Rutgers by 23. The same Michigan team, when they played on their home court, they beat these boys pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? Beat them in both halves. They was having a 1-point advantage by halftime and ran away with it. So it doesn't look like Michigan had the home field advantage in the first half, and then, or even vice versa, where Illinois should be up in the first half as the underdog, and then second half the home team and the home crowd gets going and the refs start cheating for the home team. That's what usually happened in the second half. No, that was no bueno. So it looks like it's going to be even worse because Illinois is going to have that second half to get every call go their way and the home crowd to go yell at every missed shot. Now it's Illinois' turn to run it up even more. I think they win this game by 20. And as you can see, all of Illinois' game is going over the total damn near. The only one that didn't go over was Indiana. We should know Indiana. It's not going to go over. Even Rutgers is a surprise that went over. Michigan State is more what I'm expecting on the under, or Maryland to go under, Rutgers to go under. Not when you play Illinois. Illinois' defense is going to allow points. Give me the over. I think this is way too low of a number. I think we're getting into the high 160s, maybe even the 170s, 90 something to 70, 90 to 80. I think we get into the 170s if everything goes as planned. Give me the over as the strongest play, and I got Illinois to cover the spread. Duquesne at Dayton. Duquesne has not been good at all. Not been good at all. I'm fading Duquesne the whole year. They are 4-1 in their last. 5-1. Yeah, they're 5-1 in their last 6. Playing better, but they have not been great. Played Dayton earlier this year, lost by 10 at home. You went out on the road and played Loyola, Illinois, and UMass, who's not as good as Dayton. UMass beat you by 19. Loyola, Illinois beat you by 5. You went on the road against St. Joseph, lost by 2. Went on the road against these boys, 1. But it's not really close. You know what I mean? We know it's not a close matchup. Dayton at home is 11-0. Last home game was against a better team in St. Bonaventure, and they won by 5. GW before that, Rhode Island, 34-point win, and St. Louis, 5-point win at home. Maybe it's a closer game next time around. Maybe it is a closer game this time, but as you can see, it opened up at Dayton, -10, and it's dropped to Dayton, -9. I'll take the comfort all day. Give me the points with Dayton. I'll lay the spread. I think they win by 20. George Washington at George Mason. And give me GW. I'm riding my boys. I know George Washington has been awful. They've been god awful. I know that. You know what I mean? But George Mason did lose to this team as well in comfortable fashion. It was not a head scratcher. It was not, luck. You know what I mean? Like, it was not a lucky loss. This was a decisive loss. George Washington outscored them by 13 in the first half, and then they followed suit. Did not lose the second half as well. They definitely went under the total by 6 points. 6 points of cushion to go under 143. And maybe because shots weren't falling for George Mason, that's what everybody's gonna say. But as you can see, man, look at the box score. George Mason won every category damn near. As you can see, the 3 points, that's the only thing they lost was the 3 points. They shot 67 attempts. They took 67 attempts, shot 87% from free throw, 11 turnovers. George Washington had 16 turnovers. Barely shot 1% better than you on free throw. They only hit 3 more threes than you. And you took 13 more attempts from the field from them. And you still lost by 13. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear nothing. I know what losing streak they're on. They're on a 6-game losing streak. But I think they're still the better team. They're not better. Let me correct myself. They're not the better team. They're not. We know George Washington is not better than George Mason. But they're not a 10-point underdog in that same breath. A team that just beat you by 13 and they had the more they had the more turnovers. No, and it's something not adding up. Give me George Washington plus the 10 points. I'm not a fool. Give me George Washington. Two Georges going off. I'm going to take George Washington. That money, that moolah, George Mason ain't on the back of a dollar. Give me George Washington. Give me George Washington, man. Next up, we got Buffalo at Northern Illinois, NIU. NIU is terrible, but so is Buffalo. Buffalo's a 3-win team. 3-win teams are not usually going to beat anybody. As you just see, they almost lost to this damn Georgia Southern team who was 0-12 at a certain point. At the 12th game of the year, they were 0-12, was Georgia Southern. As you can see, their whole season has been filled with losses. Their only win was against Division II school, Central Michigan, and this Georgia Southern team. Pretty miserable. We don't even have to look it up, but we know how bad Buffalo is, man. Buffalo is 351 in the world out of 362 schools. They are 351. They're getting outscored by 17.5 points on average to the average Division I school. They're 2-20 in Division I. And let's look at NIU. Northern Illinois is 286. Not in the 300s, but they damn near are on Kim Palm. And they're only getting outscored by 10 points, 8.5, maybe 9, solid 9. Defense is terrible. Roster rank is 276 in the world, and they're 6-15 in Division I, compared to 2-20. We already know NIU should win this game for sure. David Coit is their leading scorer. Their last game, they just took a loss against USA. They beat Miami of Ohio out on the road. It was a good win. Out on the road, Central Michigan took them to overtime, and Eastern Michigan beat them by 10. Before then, they were winless in the conference. Two miserable, dreadful teams, but I got to go with NIU in the under. I don't know why this is at 150. Like, these teams are going to light the scoreboard up or something. Give me the under and give me NIU on the money line. Next up, Drake at Evansville. Give me Drake to lay the 8.5. I think Drake wins this one by 24, maybe 27. Last game, they won by almost 50. It was 90-40. When you see this team right here, it was 97-48. They were up 34 at halftime. and they were outscored by 15 in the second half. Whew, almost a 50 thrallop. They definitely went over the total of 145 because they almost got into the hundreds. You know what I mean? 100 to 48. That would have been 148, but I gotta go with the under. Maybe Drake does put up another 90 points, 94, 85, but Evansville is going to be in the 50s, maybe the 40s again. I got to go with the under the total and Drake to win the game by 20 points. We'll buy this up. It's too low of a number. Give me Evansville to lose by double digits. Next up, LSU at Florida. And we're going to go with Florida to lose the game. I do love the over in this game, though. LSU is a good piece of work going to the over. The last 4 games have all been overs. Before then, over, over, over. Pretty much a lot of the games in the conference are all going over. Same could be said with Florida because we know how dynamic their offense is. When you're going against Texas A&M, Auburn, of course, is going to be an under. It's a great teams, defenses. Mississippi State is notoriously a low-scoring team. Mizzou can't score enough. Tennessee's defense. Arkansas is no excuse. That should have went over. Pretty much all of these games, Kentucky's going over. Georgia's going over. But the bigger, tough teams in the conference, like with top defense, the top 4 teams in the conference, it's not going to go over. With LSU, a bad defense, 11-11, this is going to go right over the total. Give me the over, and I like Florida to win the game. Georgetown with Ed Cooley, good coach. But, just the talent is not there. It's not the coach. It's just the talent, you know what I mean? Like, we already know Ed Cooley's a legendary coach. Georgetown is on a rebuild after all of those fucking Patrick Ewing days. Give me Creighton on the money line. But I know the money line's so steep, you got to take the spread. People saying Georgetown's going to cover the game because they're 6-2 on the road. Creighton's 4-8 at home against the spread. But I just got to go with Creighton on this one. I can't see. I know Georgetown could keep it close in the first half, and then Creighton's just going to run away with it. Georgetown is uninterested in basketball at this point. They did not cover this spread against UConn. Couldn't cover against Marquette. Covered against UConn, getting 21. Covered Xavier, getting 12. Couldn't cover against Marquette, lost by 30. And Creighton, lost by 17 when you played them. As you could see, they were only down 4 in the first half, and then Creighton ran away with it. I remember watching this game. I know what's going on. And we're taking props in this game. Creighton at home, we're taking Baylor Sherman. That boy is a rebounding machine, boy. I'm telling you. He had 12 boards in this one. Ryan Kalkbrenner had 9. Both of them are always hitting their rebounds total over. Trey Alexander scored it up a bunch. We're going to give my boy Trey Alexander over his points, and we're taking Baylor Sherman over on his rebounds, 9.5. It was moved up a fucking point. But Baylor Sherman over 9.5 rebounds for that one. Tennessee State at Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech's coming this one, beating Lindenwood. We were on Tennessee Tech in that one. We're gonna fade Lindenwood every fucking game. They should not be a Division I school. They're gonna get reevaluated very soon. Tennessee State did play these boys earlier. Tennessee State beat them in both halves decisively. 3 buckets or more in each half. They were up 6, and then they were up 26 in the second half. Beat these boys by 32. Now Tennessee Tech's looking for revenge. The question is, can they do it? As you can see, they played Moorhead. At Moorhead, lost by damn near 30. Then when you play Moorhead again, still lost by 7. Outscored by 6 and 1. It was much closer. It was a closer game. More competitive. And then another perfect example, you beat U.S. of Southern Indiana, the Indianimals. You beat them by 14, and then you allow them to get their revenge by 3 at your house. I don't believe they're that good at home. They're a losing team at home, 5-6, versus the team who beat you by 32. Coming in this one, they're also 5-7 on the road. So pretty much no advantage for Tennessee Tech here. 3-7, playing bad basketball. 7-3 is these boys. Give me Tennessee State to get the damn outright victory again, and I will lay the 4. They will win the game by more than 7. Ohio State's coming this one. 9-point underdogs, 0-6 on the road, and I'm laying it with Wisconsin. Wisconsin's is a bounce back spot for them. I do see Wisconsin bouncing back today. Ohio State's 0-6 on the road. They could have beat Iowa, but they couldn't do it. I was on Ohio State against Iowa in that one. Couldn't do it. They covered our spread, though. They covered for us, but they couldn't get the outright victory. Couldn't beat Northwestern. Couldn't beat Indiana at home. Played Wisconsin earlier, lost by 11. At your house. At your house, you lost by 11. Wisconsin dominated them in both halves. Give me Wisconsin to do the damn damage again. I think it'll get it. It's gonna get worse this time. It might be a 20-point loss. Give me Wisconsin. I'll lay the number. Colorado State, the 5-point underdog, as they previously beat this team earlier in the year. But on the road is where I'm concerned for Colorado State. As you can see, they played Boise. They beat them by 13 at home, no problem. But when you go on the road, the same team, you lose by 7. Utah State, you lose by 5. At Wyoming, you almost won, but you had to go to overtime and lose at that. And y'all fucked my ticket up with this game. I had my boy Isaiah Stevens to get 18 points. He had 17. And I had Sam Griffin to get 5 rebounds. He had 4. 1 off. I remember that game like it was yesterday. I know what these boys are about on the road. They only got a road win against Fresno State in conference. Granted, San Diego State has been questionable as well. This team, Utah State, handled them at home. When you went on the road against Nevada, it took overtime and you lost. Boise State, you beat them by you lost to them by 1. In New Mexico, you lost by 18. UNLV, Nevada, Wyoming. Utah State is the best game they ever played at home in conference. It's the toughest team you played at home in conference. They also have a road win against Gonzaga. This team is for real. But I just think they haven't played enough tough opponents at home. San Diego State hasn't. I think they come in this one and get fucking rudely awakened. They get rudely awakened. But without Colorado's showing any prowess on the road, any strength, as you can see, their road wins this year for Colorado State were against Northern Colorado. Creighton was not a neutral site. They beat LMU. Right, LMU, Northern Colorado, and Fresno State. Those are not San Diego States. You know what I mean? Like I gotta go with San Diego State at home to get right in a bounce back revenge game. Give me San Diego State cover the 6 points. Louisville. Why am I saying Louisiana Raging Cajuns? That mean the Raging Cajuns got a good game coming up. Let's stay tuned for the Raging Cajuns. Louisville at Boston College, and Boston College land 10. Claudell Harris and co. They look pretty good against Duke. They just fell short at the end. Played Florida State to 1 point. Beat Syracuse at home. Beat Notre Dame twice. You're keeping it very competitive, man. Very, very competitive every game. Giving it some effort. 1-7 is Louisville on the road. Louisville's terrible. Only beat Florida State at home and Georgia Tech at home without Bayandongo. Well, Bayandongo is playing, but he's been banged up. I gotta side with BC in this one, Boston College. But I think we get over the total. Both of these teams are lacking defense. If you do want me to show you guys the defense is the weaker points in these two teams. Boston College is a top 100 team. They're outscoring teams, the average Division I team, by 6.5 points. The defense is 121st and the offense is 93. So the defense is ranked worse. Top 100 offense, 97 in the ranks. They're 13-10 in Division I play. Now let's look at Louisville. Louisville is getting outscored by a decimal. They're top 200 on defense, top 140 on offense, 8-16 in Division I. Give me my boys. Boston College at home to get the cover. I'll lay the 10 points, and I like the over as the defenses will not be present. Florida State at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's coming in this one is a 6-point favorite, and I'm going with Virginia Tech at home. This is a pretty much like a identical mirror match, as I could best explain it. It's like a mirror match. Florida State, they're not really that good, but they are super inconsistent. When they do one thing good, like beat Syracuse by 16, then they go out and lose the next game by 9 points. You allow Louisville to put up 101. Terrible. You know what I mean? Now you just did a great game. You lost by 4 for UVA. Now watch they come out here and lay an egg. You beat Virginia Tech by 3 points earlier in the year, 77-74. I think Virginia Tech gets the revenge in this one. Give me Virginia Tech at home as the underdog, well, as the favorite. Latest points with Virginia Tech. It's UCF at BYU, and we got a prop again in this one. BYU's played this team earlier in the year. Beat these boys. It was a very low scoring game. I like the under again in this one. They went under the total by 25 points. And Dallin Hall, he had his rebounds for sure. He had 5 rebounds. He just has to get, I believe, 4.5, maybe 5 or 3.5. Either one, he's going to get over the rebounds. He's hitting at a 70% or higher rate in the last 10 games. Give me Dallin Hall to get over his rebounds, and I believe they could beat these boys twice. BYU's pretty good at home. That's when they're the best. I like BYU to cover this, not to cover the spread. I think UCF covers because it's going to be a low-scoring game. I like the under as the strongest play. This is damn near up there with the same total from earlier in the year, and it went under by 26 points. So 26 points of cushion for us. Maybe they dropped it a little bit, so probably 24, 23 points. Anything over 8 points of cushion is what we're looking to stab. I gotta go with the under as the best play in this game, and Dallin Hall over on his rebounds. But I do lean BYU minus the number. Next up, we got Kentucky, Ole Miss. Ole Miss 0-4 on the road. Ole Miss is 0-4 on the road. And that's just what the Ole Miss did in their last, you know what I mean? Not nothing special. These boys just took back-to-back losses at Rupp Arena for the first time ever, or three losses in a row, I'm sorry, ever since 1966. I think UK gets their fucking bounce back day. I think UK runs away with this one big. You know what I mean? Like if we're saying this out of our mouths in 2024, this is your first time losing three home games in a row since 1966. That just shows you how dominant of a program they are. I think they bounce back in this one and hatches things up. Give me University of Kentucky to cover the number. I'm not fooled with Ole Miss on the road. Ole Miss is a home team. I mean, even at home, they're susceptible. Give me Ole Miss to lose the game by double digits. And I like the under. I ain't gonna lie, I like the under in this one. I like the under in that one. Oklahoma at Baylor, finishing off the night slate for us. And I'm going with Oklahoma to lose the game. 2-3 on the road versus a 12-1 home team. 7-4 at home. 2-3 on the road is Oklahoma and covering. Both teams are like middle of the pack right now. Baylor's much better than them, of course, but the last 10 games, 6-4, 60% and 50% for Oklahoma. Pretty middle of the pack right now, but Baylor is the better team. Way better ranks, way better offense, way better defense. Baylor, it's only one Baylor. They're outscoring the average team in Division One by 18 and a half. Their offense is what moves the motion. They're 14 points better than the average Division One team on offense. 4 points stronger on defense. Top 5 offense. Top 80 defense. The roster rank is top 15 in the world, 16-6 in Division One. Let's look at Oklahoma. They're outscoring the average Division One team by 16. Their defense is better by 9 points than the average Division One team. So Oklahoma has the better defense, better than Baylor's, but they do not have the top 5 offense of Baylor. Um, Jacoby Walters, Ray J. Dennis, all of them boys, V's Missies, them boys are real. 18-6 in Division One is these dogs as well. And this is a good matchup. I gotta go with the under. I like the under in this one. Two great defenses going at it. And I like the slower pace of tempo, how Oklahoma plays. They will slow the game down. I've seen it. As you can see, a couple of the games have been in the 60s for them. Give me Baylor to win the game. I gotta go with Baylor to win the game, but I like under the total. And I think Oklahoma might cover this one. I think might cover the back door. But you can see like a team like this, Iowa State, in the 130s. You know what I'm saying? Under West Virginia. You're not gonna go over with a team like that. Cincinnati, you're not. Kansas State, UCF, Oklahoma State. Like, you know what I mean? Like those type of teams and games, they're gonna slow the tempo down. Give me the under, and I like Baylor to win the game. Air Force at San Jose State. San Jose State is not it. I'm gonna go with Air Force in this one. It's no true edge. Air Force is a better profitable team, shockingly on the road, 5-4. They have a winning against the spread record. Can't say the same thing about this San Jose team at home, 4-6, 40%. And I gotta go with Air Force to get the outright victory. It's just better team for me. New Mexico at Nevada, and I'm going with New Mexico in this one. Nevada's 19-5. They're pretty good. Don't get me wrong. Nevada's damn good, but they're not that good. You know what I mean? They just lost to the same team. If we spotted Nevada 15 more points, they would have still lost by 19. Give me my boys in New Mexico to get the outright victory, to sweep the season series at Nevada in Reno. Give me New Mexico on the money line. That's how we're gonna end the night slate off. And I will cook up some more NBA and NHL for y'all. So stay tuned for those videos dropping soon. Be sure to leave your top 3 picks for today. Leave a like and you must be subscribed. And if you go 3-0 with my 3-0, we go 6-0 together. I will cash up you $20. Let's go. My top 3 plays for the night. I gotta go with New Mexico on the nightcap to win us the damn last. That's gonna be the last game we're waiting on. New Mexico to stump these boys. Taking New Mexico on the money line. I gotta go with Drake minus 8.5. And I like the over in Illinois. Over in Illinois, Drake minus 9.5. And I like New Mexico on the money line. I might buy it up. Couple honorable mentions if you want to add on to the parlay, which I might be making a little 5-leg. I might throw Tennessee State on there. Tennessee State on the money line. And I like BYU under 142.5. Top 5. Let's go. It's your boy Yo Yo. See y'all next time, man.